Good evening, viewers and listeners. I'm your host, Big Law Lawrence Johnson, and welcome to the Locked On Virginia Cavaliers. That's the first place to come to get your Wahoo fix every day as part of the Locked On Podcast Network. So, yeah, guys, welcome to Monday. It's 12/5/2002. And this is my show for uh, a lot of good news. We're talking, about the Wahoos and kind of what's going on with basketball teams, and that's what I'll give you guys a little bit of a report on. So let's talk about that. Um, First, I think the ladies deserve some love here. I've kind of talked them up a little bit, and I think that I need to continue to talk them up because what they're doing right now is nothing short of miraculous based off of where they were last year. Um, this team won 5 games total. They got their fifth win at the end of the year, the last game of the year. Right now, they're currently 10-0, and not slowing down. One thing that I've noticed from Coach Mox is she really empowers these young ladies, even though it's in her system, but she empowers these young ladies to use their entire skill set. If you came in and you played on the box, on the block, and you had, a skill set that you could shoot some, she wants you to shoot. Whenever you have that, your coach empowers you to use your entire skill set. And it's cool because if they're allowing you to do it, they must develop the second and tertiary skills that you have. So what they have going on, I think is something special. Did you guys know as well? UVA women's and men's basketball are the only undefeated teams for the NCAA college basketball, Division One. So they're in the so whoever, if you're a college team and you have a women's and a men's team, uh, Division One, UVA is the only has the only undefeated women's and men's teams. I think that's highly impressive. Uh, I don't know where this is going to take us. I mean, I'm thinking that it's a kind of like a dream. You're riding it, and you're gonna wake up, but you know, we got a wake up call a little bit. The men's, but we'll talk about the men's in a little bit. But the women, they're continuing to roll, man. And one thing that I really like about it is it's not the same person. It's not. I mean, Amir McLean, who had a little bit of a run there for like 4 games, was just pumping out 20-point games. And then had, it started with Taylor Valladay in the beginning of the year. Then it came, then Cameron Taylor was, was and doing a heck of a job playing down low, still playing that gritty, tough defense down low. Then you had Sam Brunell. She's putting up the points. She's being versatile, shooting from deep, going down low, playing that high post, passing the ball, trying to get people open shots. And then, of course, I said Mir McLean came in and, started playing her game, which is kind of a hybrid. She can shoot a little bit. She can drive. She can play, she can play on the rim down low a little bit, but she gets a ton of rebounds, and then now we got, lo and behold, someone else, McKenna Dale, jumps in to the 20-point realm of scoring points. McKenna Dale had 22 points, 6 rebounds, and was 4 of 6. Excuse me, from 3-point range. Now you tell me, who do you focus on if Coach Mox is really getting these girls to do all these different types of skills? Who do you really focus on? And also, I've seen Katie Pauley come in, had 11 points, and Clarkson had 12 points. 3 totally different people that you typically would not expect. Sure, you expect Sam Brunel, you would expect Cameron Taylor Valladay to come in, and even Mira McLean. She did have 11 points for that game as well, and 9 rebounds, I will add. But, and I think she had 2 blocks as well. But, you would think that, um, you know, those were the mainstays of the folks that you're thinking about that are going to be tough to deal with. But when you add in another 3 young ladies who scored in double figures, and McKenna Dale, one who scored in the 20s and made 4 3-pointers, I'm I'm I mean, gosh, I don't want to put the cart before the horse. I really don't. I know that they have, they it's I'm going fast right now because I'm really looking and thinking that our basketball seasons, we're talking men's and women's, is really starting to look like something extra special. But I've as long as I've been doing UVA sports, covering UVA sports, I haven't had this idea that they're going to be as dominant as they have been. Of course, they beat UNC Wilmington 78-36, doubled them up. I mean, and they're just blowing people out. You know, Penn State, they beat them 89-68. They, it's a and it sounds like it's still a work in progress when you hear Coach Mox at the press conference. You know, and if it's a work in progress, Lord, I'd hate to face this team down the road, and you kind of get an idea of what this team could be. But yeah, beating UNC Wilmington 36-78. And then, of course, they got William and Mary uh, on the 7th, which is Wednesday, uh, coming up. And they got Morgan State on the 18th. Remember, we have exam break next weekend. So there is no games next weekend. So they're going to get some games in this week. Next weekend, or excuse me, this weekend, there's no games. And then they'll catch back up the following week. And then you jump into the conference play. Then you got Duke, a ranked team on December 21st. And that's going to be the one. That's going to be the measuring stick where we really find out where our ladies are. Because, I see them beating William and Mary. I'm not being cocky about that. I just see, what Coach Mox is doing and the talent these ladies are displaying out there on the court, and I just really see them beating William and Mary, and then I see them beating Morgan State as well. Similar to William and Mary, I just see the talent, uh, discrepancy and size. So I'm looking at William and Mary. I'm looking at Morgan State. I'm looking at them beating them as well to go to 12-0 before they jump into a game in conference against Duke in December. Man, this is a beautiful thing. This is a beautiful thing going on right now, and they've showed what they can what they can do right now. Um, but yeah, you know I've Katie Pauley showing out, London Clarkson showing out, McKenna Dale showing out. You know, where do you put your focus at? If you're an opposing coach, That's just really the bottom line. You know, welcome to Charlottesville. And a new power. Could this be a new power in the ACC? Kind of return to yesteryear. Like I said, with Taylor Valladay running the show, kind of reminds me of a point guard we used to have here at one time. You know, uh, hardcore leader, and we'll see how this thing goes with these young ladies. But 10-0. Next game is Wednesday. Beat UNC Wilmington 36-78. Let's keep them going. Let's keep supporting these ladies, and also just make sure you get out to the games. The tickets are inexpensive, guys. It's really awesome. It's really awesome. How was the gift of Omaha Steaks received from a friend or family member? If you hadn't done it, I think you should, because it is probably one of the most memorable things that you'll have when we're talking about giving someone a gift. Omaha Steaks is America's original butcher since 1917, and a holiday gift that guaranteed to be loved. The holidays are here. Achieving gift greatness when you give the gift of perfectly aged, tender, and delicious Omaha steaks. The steak experts at Omaha Steaks have put together a special curated package to help take the guesswork out of gifting and make you a holiday hero. Go to omahasteaks.com and use the code locked on at checkout and get $30 off your order. Send an assortment of mouth-watering favorites, including and guaranteed to impress, like the legendary Butcher's Cut filet mignon, the air-chilled boneless chicken, and the ultra-juicy burgers, and even easy to prepare comfort meals that are ready in a flash. Omaha Steaks is ready to ship your order right away, so shop early and beat the shipping rush. Go to omahasteaks.com and use promo code LOCKED ON at checkout. Omaha Steaks is a gift from the heart, a gift remembered with every unforgettable bite. Order with complete confidence today, knowing you're ordering the very best. Visit omahasteaks.com, use promo code LOCKED ON at checkout, and get an extra $30 off your order. Minimum order may be required. So yeah, everybody. We talked about the ladies, and where the ladies are, and I'm convinced that we're talking about a special team here, and and talking about these ladies, being a just a special team. Right now, where do we go, with these next our next sport, which is the men's basketball? Could this team be as special? I think my answer is yes. I was there this Saturday watching them play the Florida State Seminoles. Of course, one thing about Florida State, which they only have won one game this year, but the one thing about Florida State is they always, and I mean always, give University of Virginia just issues with their size and athleticism, just that length that they have of getting in front of you, playing tough defense. Also, we've never been good lately, for the past at least 6 years, 7 years, trying to break a trap. If you got a good trapping team, you're going to really, really give us trouble. I mean, a lot of teams have trouble breaking good traps, but if there's a way to really get at us, it's definitely going go the route of using a trap against us. Um, we have, two main ball handlers, and Kihei Clark and Reese Beekman, and they do pretty decently against the trap. But watching, Isaac McNeely get ripped, get taken advantage of back there, the coach was probably like, "Wait a minute, we are not leaving him back there, by himself trying to break a trap." And also, like, and they pressure you from 94 feet all the way to the to your end of the goal. So, um, but the game, the game was almost, seemed like it was over. They had like a 10-point lead, with like 5-6 minutes left, and then Florida State just really started to, elongate the game, started to um, foul, the Wahoos, and just really made the game a grind. And when you do that, anything can happen because guys just start shooting threes and they just start going in. One thing about playing University of Virginia, you'll find that some players just all of a sudden just become have Herculean efforts against this defense. One thing about it is, they're either going to really shut you down and crank down on your, crank down your offensive production, or you can have like a superstar game, and all of a sudden you become a all-world shooter against them. And that's what happens, every now and then. Some folks rise to the challenge and really want to score on this defense. And we had a few guys shooting really well against Virginia, in these past years. And it was like, time clock running out, and these guys would rise up and shoot a long distance shot and just make a three. And that's kind of what, you deal with. But that's what you want. You want somebody shooting a shot under desperation, at the end of the shot clock. And, and every time we get a, it was really cool. Every time we get the shot clock violation, everybody's giving the shot clock violation sign. I just think that it's one of the coolest things that you can see if you ever were at the game live, and the entire, stands is giving the hand signal, the officials hand signal for shot clock violation. So, but that is a University of Virginia thing. They really take pride in, getting shot clock violations. But yeah, Florida State, it's like they had to win the game again. They were up by 10 with not much time left. Florida State ground the game out, slowed it down, fouled. And we got to do better at our foul shots, man. We shot horribly, absolutely horribly from deep, from 3-point range, and also shot horribly from the field, which I hadn't seen anything like that this year yet. This game against Florida State, we only beat them 62-57. It reminded me of last year where we just could not put it in the bucket. Now keep in mind, the shots that we shot were open shots. And we're missing if we're missing open shots like we were last year, then we're in a lot of trouble. But they did well. I think they did well enough to get at least the win. And how about our next guy, Kihei Clark? Kind of a little bit of a not a forgotten man, but a player who plays the rugged, tough defense, who leads the team, has the most experience, has a ring. Just the unquestioned general of the team. Now he's not the leader. Excuse me. It's not his team. Kihei is the leader, but it's not his team when they're on the court playing. The best player is Reese Beekman. And I saw a report saying that Reese Beekman is probably a low first round. I got a low first round grade as a draft pick. So, we got to be on the lookout for that. He may wind up wanting to leave after this year that he's having. But looking like a first round pick, based off of his defense and his development in shooting. He's continuing to go to the next level, and of course, he's fighting an ankle injury, and and he looked all right. He looked good, but Kihei Clark wound up having 18 points, 3 assists in the game to move. The team moved to 7-0, which 7-0, great, another great record. I mean, between the girls and the men's basketball, you're talking 17-0. We've had 17 games between the boys and the men. Excuse me, the men and the ladies, and they're right there, man, at all undefeated. 10 wins for the ladies, 7 for the men. And the next game is a tough revenge game coming up against JMU, and that's on Tuesday. That's tomorrow, and that's a game that I know that a lot of the Wahoos that are there this year, which most of them are. We got what we got here. We got 5 returning starters, and we got 3 other guys who play a lot returning as well. They didn't like that feeling. I don't think any of us did, but they came to Charlottesville and they went to JMU and they just embarrassed the University of Virginia. Nobody thought that was going to happen. But yeah, JMU Tuesday, and I'm looking forward to seeing how this team plays. But back to the Florida State game. They beat Florida State 62-57. Kihei had 18, 3 and 3. You're talking Jaden Gardner. Also, big man on the block, with the short mid-range game, deadly mid-range game, had 10 points and played a tough game as well. 10 points, 7 rebounds, and 2 assists. 2 blocks. One thing about Jaden is, he's playing against, this Florida State team has, just a lot of length, against him. He struggles against the traditional power forward, the 6'10s and the 6'8s and 6'9s, 7-foot guys. And I got to give him some credit for you seeing him develop, and learning how to play against length, with his size. He's thick, so he has to use his strength in his body to get the ball to the rim. And you can see some development in him, this year already. Of him playing against some bigger guys than him, or taller guys, longer guys than him. And he looked good. Reese Beekman, 5 and 4, 7 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists. And of course, Reese is going to do his thing. He's playing the all around game is what he does, and that lockdown defense. He's he's playing, and of course, he's also, like I said, playing with an injury, and we'll see how Reese continues to progress. Almon Franklin had 9 points, 2 rebounds, and wound up having 7 points, 4 rebounds, and an assist. At Locked On Virginia, we believe home should be where you and your family feel the safest, especially over the holidays. This season, give yourself and your family the gift of peace and protection with the #1 home security system, SimpliSafe. And right now, SimpliSafe is offering Locked On Virginia listeners 40% off a new security system. But don't put this off. Here's why I love it. You get the 24/7 monitoring, agent and customer support staff. You also get HD cameras with the camera feed, wide range, and high-tech sensors. The fitness of the technology make you feel extra supported by the team, and they support everything that you have there. SimpliSafe also is the best home security system of 2022 by U.S. News and World Report for a 3rd year in a row. Don't miss out on your chance to save big on your favorite security system. Get 40% on any new system at simplisafe.com/locked on today. That's simplisafe.com/locked on college. There's no safe like SimpliSafe. Thanks for making Locked On Virginia your first listen today. For a second listen, check out Locked On Sports today. From the games that matter the most to the biggest stories in sports, go beyond the scoreboard and behind the scenes with the local experts and insights only Locked On can provide. Locked On Sports today, available on this app, YouTube, and wherever you get your podcast. So yes, everybody, you know, let's be on the lookout for what this season could mean for this basketball, for both of these basketball teams, men and ladies. Uh, let's uh, let's support them. Let's get out there. Of course, the men's uh, game was sold out this Saturday, and it was loud. I think it can get louder. I think there were some seats that weren't filled, even though it was a sellout. But let's make sure we all get there. But let's not forget that they got JMU, okay, and then after the JMU game, they got a huge game, not this weekend, the following weekend against the number one team in the nation, and I think they'll still be number one, the Houston University Cougars. And let's let's see where this takes us. In my opinion, the way that we've played, I don't know if we're I don't know if we play anything close to what we played these last two games. I don't think we can beat Houston. But like I said, Coach Bennett is the king of adjustments, and we'll see what happens with this team come tomorrow when they play JMU, and we'll see what this team looks like then. And then, of course, after that, we have the Miami game. Remember, I said it was a 5-team, 5-leg game spree right here. They already got one, all right, which which was Michigan. Then they got number 2, which is Florida State. 3 JMU, Houston, and then Miami. Now, I said if they can come out of this with one loss or two, this is definitely could be a special year, and we'll see what checks, way all this checks out, guys. Quick news about the transfer portal. Looks like Brennan Armstrong. I reported this last week with my guy Casey Vazzali on Friday. Looks like Brennan Armstrong is in the transfer portal. How could you blame him as a transfer a transfer grad in the portal, and you can't necessarily say anything about why is he doing that. We all understand why. Also, a little bit of a surprise, you have Fintrell Cypress, who led the ACC in pass breakups, is leaving as well in the transfer portal, declaring. And like I said, don't be surprised if we have quite a few more. I'm thinking a mass exodus from this team is on the way. Also, looks like our long snapper has left as well in the transfer portal, and we'll just keep everybody up to date on it, because it's definitely something to be worried about. We also need to worry about who's coming in. And I saw some reports, some players who may, or a player that they have offered, a quarterback, and I saw that DJU is in transfer portal. Now, I don't know, of course, that's Clemson's started quarterback last couple of years, who has a propensity to make mistakes, but also has some talent. I don't know if Coach Elliott's going to go after him, but we'll see how this all goes, guys. But like I said, thank you guys. And, thank Locked On first listen today. For your second listen, check out Locked On Sports today for the games that matter the most to the biggest stories in sports. Go beyond the scoreboard and behind the scenes with your local experts and insights only Locked On can provide. Locked On Sports today, available on this app, YouTube, and wherever you get your podcast. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Make sure you check us out on 7 City Shop Talk Sports as well. You'll see me out there with my team, and we'll keep this thing running. UVA strong won 41-15.